Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of the SWUS NBA Friday. We got 12 games on the board. I'm going to go through 2 of them in this video, but I might do a live stream handicapping to do some more. Either way, we'll go through all of them on the live show. I think I'm going to reach out to Ski and try to do a combined live show or something because I don't have a guest lined up right now, but we'll figure it out. We're definitely going to do a live stream for the NBA tomorrow and go through all 12 games. But as I said, in this video, I'm going to go through 2. As far as Thursday, I gave out 2 bets, and I'm recording this early, so let's see how they're looking right now. Knicks team total under is looking okay. I mean, it's still early in that game. Warriors are off to a good start, 19-6. So those are the 2 bets I gave out. Hopefully by the time you're watching this, I have won those bets. But yeah, NBA Friday, let's do it.
Welcome to the SWUS. The SWUS. Hey, get the SWUS.
Let's start out with Oklahoma City on the road in Indiana. Got the Pacers laying 4.5 points at home, and the total sitting at 235.5. Let's take a quick look at the spreadsheet, and according to the model, we are deadlocked. 116-116 according to the model. Injuries and inactives, and we'll start with Oklahoma City. And bad news, looks like the Thunder are going to be without SGA again. I think he's missed 5 of the last 6 now, so he's definitely more hurt than we thought, or at least it appears he is. Jalen Williams is also listed as doubtful, so it looks like Jalen Williams is going to miss another game. OKC missing 2 huge pieces in this one. On the Indiana side, we got Miles Turner on the report again. He's listed as questionable. He just sat out their last game against Brooklyn, so we'll have to wait and see for him. Betting trends on the Oklahoma City side, Thunder have not been covering. 4-12 against the spread in their last 16, 2-7 against the spread in their last 9 on the road. Indiana 5-3 against the spread in their last 8, 3-1 against the spread in their last 4 at home. There was a little stretch there where Indiana wasn't covering at home. Looks like they're back on track, 3-1 in their last 4. Oklahoma City definitely trending towards the over recently. 5-1 to the over in the last 6 OKC games. So let's match these 2 teams up on the court. We'll start with some net efficiency numbers in the last 10 games. The Pacers have been better. It's 8th to 18th in the last 10, but they played the much easier schedule here. In the last 10 games, the strength of schedule 6th to 21st. So the gap between these teams is not this big. It's not 8th to 18th, obviously. Both these teams run extremely fast paces. In the last 10 games, they're 6th and 4th in pace. Based on what we've seen this season, I guess that should slightly favor the Pacers. Oklahoma City on the year just 5-7 against the spread against the top 5 teams in pace. Indiana against the top 5 teams in pace, 6-4-1 against the spread. Nothing overwhelming there. Just thought it was interesting enough to mention. Let's take a look at the matchup for Oklahoma City offensively, and OKC definitely has the edge on this side. I mean, keep in mind, strength of schedule. These are numbers from the last 10 games, and OKC's played a much stronger schedule. So these numbers are going to be skewed pretty heavily in favor of Indiana. And SGA missed 4 of the last 10 games, so these numbers aren't all with Gilgeous-Alexander in the lineup. But OKC should get plenty of trips to the foul line in this one. Oklahoma City with the rare rebounding edge as well. Indiana just terrible on the defensive glass. That being said, check this out. So I mentioned Oklahoma City has the edge in free throw rate and rebounding rate. But Oklahoma City on the season, just 3-6 against the spread against the bottom 5 defensive rebounding teams, and 4-8 against the spread against the bottom 5 defenses in free throw rate. So against teams that can't protect the offensive glass and against teams that foul a lot, Oklahoma City actually has a terrible hit rate. I'm a little worried about this matchup for Oklahoma City, especially missing those 2 pieces. Indiana is a defense that does not let you get 3-point shots off. Oklahoma City's been really reliant on jump shots recently. I mean, I guess you could say the mid-range shot should be there, but that only accounts for 15% of the Thunder's shot attempts. They've been taking a lot of threes, and I just can't count on those threes being there. What the Pacers defense wants you to do is they force you inside. They put a ton of pressure on the perimeter, force you inside to take contested layups. Now, Oklahoma City is normally a pretty efficient scoring team down low, but they're missing Jalen Williams and SGA. That's 2 of their best slashers, so it might be a tough matchup here for OKC's offense. Now, I do have some good news for Oklahoma City, I guess. I mean, if you're looking for something, the Pacers have solid defensive numbers against the fast break. And you might be looking at this graphic and saying, how is that good news for OKC? Well, actually, Indiana on the season is just 4-8-1 against the spread against the top 5 teams in transition frequency. So against teams that run the fast break a lot, like Oklahoma City does, Pacers have a terrible hit rate, 33.3% against the spread. That being said, can we count on Oklahoma City running the same type of pace and the same type of transition rate without Gilgeous-Alexander? I'm not really sure about that. On the other side of the court, we got the Pacers offense, and one thing I really like for Indiana's offense here, they protect the basketball. This is huge because Oklahoma City is first in forced turnover rate in the last 10 games. And if the Thunder can't create turnovers, it takes away a lot of their fast break points, a lot of their fast break opportunities. So the fact that the Pacers haven't been turning the ball over, huge angle in favor of the Pacers, in my opinion. Now, if you're betting Oklahoma City, in my opinion, this is your strongest angle here. Oklahoma City's been playing lockdown defense on the interior, and that shouldn't be affected too much by SGA and Jalen Williams being out. That's where Indiana takes most of their shots. You can see their numbers in the last 10 games. They attack the rim a lot, and it's been like that all season. Pacers are super reliant on scoring down low, and I don't know if that's going to be there against an Oklahoma City defense that's playing great at the basket, which makes betting this game really tough. To be honest, I want to bet OKC, but I just hate their matchup. I hate the matchup for their offense so much. So I think the move here is to go under. See what this total's at. I didn't bet it yet, so let me see what it's at right now. Looks like it is at 235.5. Yeah, I like that. Let's do the under in this one. I'll take the under next game. Minnesota on the road in Phoenix. Suns are laying 3 points at home, but I actually see a two. Whoa, no, I'm sorry. It looks like I actually see a 2.5, a 3, and a 3.5 all open right now. So that's where the line's hovering for this one. Total sitting at 219.5. I also see a 220 open. Let's take a quick look at the spreadsheet, and according to the model, we should see a 3-point Minnesota win. Final score 111-108 T-Wolves. Injuries and inactives, and we'll start with Minnesota. Just Karl Anthony Towns, who is still out. So still no Towns for the T-Wolves. On the Suns side, Nurkic is on the report. He's listed as questionable. That's new. That wasn't on there a couple hours ago when I looked. Grayson Allen is also on the report. He's listed as probable. He sat out their last game against Cleveland, so it looks like the Suns are going to have Grayson Allen back, so there's something. But Nurkic being out could be significant. Betting trends on the Minnesota side. T-Wolves 8-3 against the spread in their last 11. 5-2 against the spread in their last 7 on the road. Suns are also hot. 5-2 against the spread in their last 7, including 3 straight covers at home. 3-0 against the spread in their last 3 at home. Important to point out that the Suns owned this Minnesota team recently. Phoenix 8-1 straight up and 8-1 against the spread in their last 9 meetings against the T-Wolves. So Minnesota has really struggled with this Phoenix team. So let's match these two teams up on the court. We'll start with some net efficiency numbers in the last 10 games. Both these teams are playing great. Minnesota second in overall efficiency in the NBA in the last 10, but Phoenix is right there at 9th. Strength of schedule is pretty much even, 19th and 17th. Obviously, the battle to watch here, we got an elite offense in the Suns. They're 3rd in offensive rating in the last 10 games against an elite defense in Minnesota. They're 3rd in defensive rating in the last 10 games. Now, on paper, that should favor the T-Wolves. Minnesota on the season is 9-4-1 against the spread against top 5 offenses. Meanwhile, Phoenix is 3-8 against the spread against top 5 defenses. But we should take that with a grain of salt because earlier in the season, the Suns weren't covering against anybody, which is going to be included in these numbers. Let's take a look at the matchup for the T-Wolves offense and look at these numbers. This is pretty much a wash across the board here. Keep in mind that even the strength of schedule numbers in the last 10 games are even. Minnesota's not going to get many second chance opportunities here, but Phoenix isn't going to create many turnovers. Both of those metrics result in extra possessions, so that's pretty much a wash. Shot zones for Minnesota's offense, and Minnesota's been shooting the 3-ball recently, and they've been shooting it well, which is different. Actually, I misspoke today on the live show. I think I was on Crispy Cappen's show, and I was talking about how Minnesota's not a good 3-point shooting team. My bad if you're a T-Wolves fan, because I missed this. In the last 10 games, Minnesota's been shooting the shit out of the 3-ball. 3rd in efficiency, too, so they're hitting them at a high rate. The problem with that's the strength of the Suns' defense, which is also flipped, because 2 weeks ago, the Suns were struggling against jump shooters, so welcome to trying to handicap the NBA right now. It's actually the numbers at the basket that are a problem for the Suns defense. Now, you would think that's a great matchup for Minnesota, but actually, if you look at these numbers here in the last 10 games, Minnesota's taking a ton of those short mid-range shots, not so much at the basket, and Phoenix somehow has solid numbers against those short mid-range shots. So I really don't know what to take away here. On the other side, we got the Phoenix offense, and the Suns have just been hitting shots at an insane rate recently. They're 1st in effective field goal percentage in the last 10 games, but Minnesota isn't letting anybody get good looks against them. They're also 1st defensively in effective field goal percentage in the last 10. Turnovers could be a problem in this one, though. Minnesota 1st in forced turnover rate in the last 10 games. Phoenix 26th in turnover rate. Suns have struggled to protect the basketball, and Minnesota on the season 10-5-1 against the spread against the bottom 5 offenses in turnover rate. So against teams that struggle to protect the basketball, Minnesota's hitting at 66.6%. Meanwhile, Phoenix 4-10 against the spread against the top 5 defenses in turnover rate. So against defenses that have been forcing turnovers, like Minnesota, who is first in the last 10 games, Suns have a terrible hit rate. That being said, the Suns' ATS numbers, we know that they were terrible for a while, so take it or leave it. As far as shot zones for the Suns offense, I mean, they're not going to be able to score at the rim here. Minnesota is obviously elite. They've probably been the best interior defense in the NBA this year. Rudy Gobert really is a game changer down there. Good news for Phoenix, though. They don't really have much interest in attacking the basket. Phoenix has been doing all their damage via jump shot, and the T-Wolves are still a great defense out there, but the numbers go from the best in the NBA on the interior to more top 10, top 15 out here at the three-point line in the long mid-range shot. Straight up, if the Suns continue to hit shots like this, they're going to score in this game. Despite Minnesota being a great defense, Suns are going to score. I mean, the Suns are hitting those shots where you can't defend them. Those contested mid-range shots, they're moving the ball. The Suns' offense looks like a problem right now. You add on the fact that they might get Grayson Allen back. He missed the Cleveland game. This bet really comes down to how you personally feel about Phoenix. If you want to go by the numbers and the handicap, then you got to take the points of Minnesota. But if you believe in this Phoenix team and you believe in what you've seen the last few games, I think the Suns are the move. Personally, I want to take the Suns, but now that Nurkic is questionable, I'm going to pump the brakes. I believe in the Suns. You guys know I believe in the Suns. I've been saying it since the offseason. So I'm going to be on Phoenix here, but if Nurkic is ruled out, I would like to get this closer to a pick'em. So I'll be on Phoenix. I'll let you know on the live show what the final decision is, but I'll definitely be on Phoenix in some capacity here. I honestly might even take a team total over, to be honest, but I'll be on the Suns. I'll let you know. If you want my top bets, I'm posting some overnight bets tonight. If you want to join the Discord, anything like that, head over to KyleKirms.com. The information's right there on the homepage. Live shows. I actually don't know the schedule yet, but we're going to be doing an NBA live show and an MLB live show tomorrow. MLB 15 games, NBA 12 games. It's a loaded day. If you're able to make it, would love to see you in the comments. We got a big weekend ahead of us. Be sure to bet responsibly. You don't want to go through the bankroll on Friday night. Pick your spots and be smart. And yeah, I'll talk to you in the Discord if you need me.